Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So this is about what what some of us have heard about fentanyl. And so prescription heroin related overdoses fall, fentanyl related overdoses rise, ODH reports. And so this is by ABC News. And so here you see all these huge problem. So apparently so in Cleveland, Ohio, prescription opioid related overdose deaths reached an 8-year low and heroin related deaths are at a 4-year, which is being mixed and used with drugs such as cocaine and heroin is now the leading cause of overdose deaths in Ohio. So, a report from the Ohio Department of Health revealed that a number of overdose deaths during the second half of 2017 declined by 23%. But the good news is Ohio is seeing significant progress in reducing the number of prescription opioid available for abuse. And as a result, prescription opioid related overdose deaths that don't also involve fentanyl are at a lowest level in 2009, said Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addictive Services Director Mark Hurst, MD. This progress is significant because the prescription opioid abuse is frequently a gateway to the heroin and fentanyl use. So in 2017, fentanyl was involved in 71% of all unintentional overdose deaths. So in 2014, fentanyl was involved in only 20% of the overdose deaths, which means fentanyl related deaths have increased by 51% in 4 years. So cocaine related deaths increased in Ohio by 39%, according to the Ohio Department of Health. So the report shows that the 537 overdose deaths involving drugs similar to methamphetamine occurred in 2017 compared to 233 in 2016. So that's a 130% increase. Since 2011, the number of prescription related overdose deaths have decreased by 28%. The state of Ohio has invested more than $1 billion each year to help battle the drug abuse and addiction at the state and local levels by bullets, sponsoring community rapid response teams to follow up with individuals who survive a drug overdose to seek to connect with them for treatment or to treatment, increasing the numbers of medical professionals qualified to prescribe medication assisted treatment, expanding local prescription drug overdose prevention initiatives, pursuing scientific breakthroughs to battle drug abuse and addiction, expanding access to the opioid overdose reversal drug naloxone, excuse me, implementing common sense reforms to prevent pain medication abuse, and expanding data and tools available in Ohio's prescription drug reporting, and providing funding to support toxicology screening and during overdose investigations, educating prescribers and patients on how to safely manage pain and prevent abuse. And so that's pretty much the article on this. And so it's still a huge, huge problem. And so now I guess there's been so much awareness about, you know, the opioid abuse that a lot of the pharmacists, a lot of the doctors are prescribing less of that and other alternatives. But the problem with this now is the underworld is still involved in this, which now they're mixing fentanyl which is being mixed with and used with other drugs like cocaine and heroin, is now the leading cause of overdose in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And so this is a huge problem. And so right now, as we speak, singer Cher, who was so well known, there was someone, I guess, I don't know if this is someone she knew that she's renting to or leasing to, or somebody that's a family member. I don't know. We don't know who they are yet. I guess I would say this is developing story because we don't know who they are yet, but there's a video that they're searching Cher's home for fentanyl sales. So it didn't say the person's related to her. It said someone living there. So somehow she must know them. But anyway, this is how it's Cher's home search in connection with alleged fentanyl sales, KTLA LA. This is 4 hours ago here, and it's all over the internet. But anyway, let me see if I can replay this. But it says investigators visited her Malibu home, the singer Cher, on Thursday, arresting a man who lives there on suspicion of selling fentanyl, leading to an overdose death, authorities said. So I don't know if anybody remember that Donald Trump was saying he was going to crack down on drug dealers and people who were selling fentanyl and all of these opioids. And so maybe this is one of the reasons, this is just but one example, but he said he was going to be a lot harder on the drug dealers, the people who are dealing the drugs that have fentanyl and, opioids and stuff. So I'm going to try to replay this video. This might be a commercial.
We are working to learn more about a search warrant served at Cher's Malibu home. Air 7 HD flew over the home earlier this afternoon. The Ventura County Sheriff's Department actually served this warrant even though the home is in LA County. Sheriff's officials aren't giving a lot of details. They only say that the investigation is ongoing. The singer is currently on tour in Australia.
Okay, so she's on tour right now in Australia. And so that's something separate. But anyway, there's somebody apparently that was living in her Malibu home who they think is related to an overdose that occurred. And so right now they've been searching. They have a search warrant on her home, and they're trying to find out and get to the bottom of this. So this is an ongoing story. So it's sort of developing. So we have to find out more about it. And they will as soon as they release what's going on with that. But anyway, I'm going to switch back to where it was. So prescription heroin-related overdoses fall, but fentanyl-related overdoses rise. And so this is becoming a huge problem. And it states that you don't even need that much of this drug to kill you. Just like it can be like a small amount and it can kill you. And so this is a huge problem, but it's showing up now in cocaine and heroin. And so I think that's the worry now, is that it's showing up mixed with other drugs. And so if a person has a cocaine problem or a heroin problem or a problem in other drug-related use, this fentanyl can very well be the indicator of why they have an overdose or a death, not knowing why. It's because they're mixing the drugs with the deadly drug fentanyl. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to let this video go. What do you think about that? Could it affect another group of individuals? I know in the rural areas, it's affected a lot of people, like Tennessee is one of them. They said Tennessee town has been ravaged, Virginia, There's a lot of places that are seeing this drug showing up all over the place. And I heard that, like, when they sell the drugs from like a place like China or somewhere, they will not be punished in that country, but it becomes punishable when it's sold here in the States. And so when they try to, what I've seen is in the past, they tried to reach the sellers overseas or over in other countries, and they can't locate them. They somehow manage to change their way of you connecting with them because they're good at not getting caught. And so that's why so many of those drugs, those pills, come over here. And I know the airports ship ships that bring in cargo, different ways that they try to bring the drugs over here. It's They show up with bags and bags and bags of it that they've confiscated, and it's just sitting there as evidence. And so somehow it's getting on the street where it's now being used in other, other street level drugs, and it's killing people, you know. But anyway, with that being said, what are your thoughts, feedback, submit, comment, or whatever? Um, Subscribe. Thanks for listening.